RPG is one of the finest genres because these games are a mix of every gaming feature. You will find whatever you're looking for, no matter what your poison is. That's why I made this list of 15 plus RPGs. Let's look at our first game, Vampyr. The moral conflicts are the best part here. Imagine turning into a vampire, but you're tied to your moral oath as a doctor. So you are always twisted between trying to survive and doing good deeds. It's a constant internal battle. Do you give in to the bloodlust or stick to your humanity? The game still manages to keep a balance between all this. All in all, it's truly one of those games that you will be surprised with. You're not just running around killing things. You're investigating, talking to people, unlocking secrets, and every choice has consequences. Kill the wrong person and it can screw up an entire district. And honestly, the RPG side of things is where the game shines more. Upgrading your skills, deciding whether to sacrifice a citizen for XP, and shaping how the story plays out. Banishers: Ghost of New Eden. What sets it apart isn't just the setting, it's the choices. Like every ghost encounter becomes this moral dilemma. Do you banish the spirit, redeem it, or even sacrifice a living person to bring someone you love back? It constantly messes with your sense of right and wrong. You start thinking, I'm the good guy, and then the game throws this gray decision at you and you're just stuck. But the heart of the game is Red and Antea's relationship. I was way more invested in their story than I expected to be. The emotional weight builds up the more side quests you do, some of which are way more impactful than the main story moments. Overall, let me just tell you guys that Banishers is sort of an underrated experience. It's a AA RPG.
Kate? Show yourself.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag, easily one of the best AC games I've played. And it doesn't even feel like a traditional Assassin's Creed game at times, but that's what makes it so good. You're not stuck in some city jumping from rooftop to rooftop whispering about the Creed. You're a freaking pirate, a rogue, selfish, charming bastard who doesn't care about the Assassins or the Templars at first. He's just out for treasure and freedom. And yeah, it's not just pirate life 24/7. There's still stealth, hidden blades, tailing missions, and classic AC parkour. But Black Flag blends it all so well that nothing feels out of place. Overall, Black Flag isn't just about assassins and pirates. It's about freedom, identity, and consequences.
To oppose, whimper nay.
Dragon's Dogma. This game is an absolute hidden gem. Imagine a combination of Skyrim and Dark Souls. Dragon's Dogma is the top game from this list that I personally recommend. I was one of those players who had the chance to play this one after finishing all the major RPG titles. And I was totally amazed by how everything is, whether it's the exploration, customization, monsters, combat, the whole RPG stuff, it's all awesome, guys. You gotta try this one out for sure. Also, make sure to install a small mod to tweak the graphics and visuals. Another best part is that you have your own party members called pawns. And yeah, you can include different types of pawns to your party members, and these guys are actually helpful. Also, there's a part 2 as well. Horizon Zero Dawn. What if you mix robotic machines and fantasy together along with the finest main character? That's what Zero Dawn is about. You have got all the traditional RPG stuff, an open world, lots of NPCs and places, rewarding exploration, finest combat system, and all kinds of upgrades. And yeah, you are definitely going to enjoy your time in this one. Sure, there are some critics, but it's still one of the finest RPGs with all the core features. Also, Horizon managed to get a sequel faster than other games, and even the sequel titled as Forbidden West is well made. Therefore, if you do manage to finish the first part and want something more, then you're totally covered. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
It's huge. How do you defeat it?
That will be for you to decide. This hunt is yours to make, Aloy. Yours alone. No matter what happens, I will not intervene.
Tales of Arise. This one's not your traditional JRPG, and yeah, it's super long, literally the game will devour your time. But hey, if you really want to experience the core of JRPGs, then Tales of Arise is a perfect game. The starting is a bit slow and there are tons of dialogues, but all these means nothing for the genre fans. For me, the game could feel overwhelming for newcomers. Anyways, the combat is mostly the same. It's all flashy and got a lot of varieties. Then there are multiple characters, each with their own personalities. What I loved most though is how the game tackles themes of oppression, freedom, identity, but without shoving it down your throat. I highly recommend spending time because the payoff in the final chapters is genuinely satisfying.
Well, looky here.
Greedfall. It's one of those AA games that looks like it's trying to punch above its weight. If you've played Dragon Age or The Witcher, you'll feel that familiar vibe. Diplomacy, branching choices, companions with strong personalities, and a world that feels politically tense and morally gray. And the best part is that the choices actually matter. You can align with factions, betray allies, smooth talk your way through missions, or go full brute force. Where the game really shines is the quest design and world building. Every faction feels different, and the way your decisions affect the world makes you want to replay and see what changes. Overall, you can definitely tell the budget wasn't AAA, but the ambition is there, and the passion behind the game makes up for the rough edges. Disco Elysium. This one's not about shooting things or flashy combat. In fact, there's no real combat at all in the traditional sense. You're basically a completely messed up detective trying to make sense of a murder case. You wake up in a trashed hostel room with a hangover so bad you've literally forgotten who you are. From that moment on, every choice you make shapes your character. Your own thoughts fight with each other. Logic argues with drama, empathy competes with authority, and your brain is basically a full-on debate club. Yep, like, it's all weird and interesting at the same time. It just depends on what kind of experience you want from this game. Some of you guys are definitely gonna skip this one, but if you are here for the story, then Disco Elysium is truly a masterpiece.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants.
Final Fantasy VII. Just to make it clear, I'm talking about both parts, entire 7th remake. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII is an obvious choice, especially for anyone who wants to enter into the series. I mean, who doesn't think Cloud is awesome looking and that massive sword is totally overkill? To be honest, 7th is one of my favorite parts along with the 15th. The story is highly engaging, you never feel bored, and are always up for finding what will happen next. The characters, well, nothing to talk about. Everyone knows about Cloud, Tifa, and even Sephiroth. The combat, it's all flashy, quicker, and somewhat turn-based. And not to drag everything, but all the other features are also top-notch. For Honor, not including the multiplayer content. Yes, the game is much better in multiplayer, but there's also a single-player campaign you can experience. The basic idea of For Honor is that everyone's fighting. All factions are against each other, samurais versus Vikings versus knights. And the best part is that the game offers you a chance to play from each of these factions' side. So yeah, it's crazy because in one playthrough you experience what it likes to be a samurai, and in the next you're a Viking and then a knight as well. The only downside is that all these campaigns are quite short, so you will be done with the whole single-player stuff in a couple of hours. But hey, if you do like it, then there's always multiplayer. Yakuza series. Frankly, I don't know what specific part to mention, but still. Kiwami, Zero, 6th part, and even the newer ones, Infinite Wealth and all. Yakuza is one of the most different games I have played. Yes, it's a JRPG, but definitely not the whole anime kind. There's a whole new kind of vibe to this game and also a huge load of content. Main missions, side quests, messing up random stuff, even NPCs, tournaments, and all kinds of side activities. If you ask me, then it's absolute that almost every hardcore gamer should definitely play at least one Yakuza game. You will be amazed that a simple 20 hours of story game will take you over 50 hours to complete. Yep, it's that much time consuming, and you won't regret spending those 50 hours.
Dad?
Before I reveal my final pick, here are some bonus games. Mass Effect 2. Mad Max. Mountain Blade 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Red Dead 2. I know that this one's an obvious choice, but I kind of felt nice ending the list with one of the top dogs of Rockstar. Red Dead is a prime game that will forever be known as the greatest. I'm so glad that I got the chance to play this one, and yes, I kind of feel bad for those who thought that it's boring or slow-paced, especially at the start. And this is something I agree with because the game does feel slow-paced in the first chapter, but from chapter 2 onwards, everything is a blast. You will feel every emotion in this one: rage, pure joy, sadness, something realistic, maybe a bit moral, and just pure awesomeness, guys. Not to overrate or brag, but Red Dead is a masterpiece. Alright, this finishes our list of some of the best RPGs. There's also a part 1 that I made earlier where I mostly included the famous titles. This one is something I wanted to limit to more underrated and lesser known ones with some obvious choices like the Red Dead. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.